Elena sits in her dining room. The smell of rosemary hangs in the air, and her hands tremble so violently that the ice cubes in her water pitcher rattle. She is exhausted from nights spent pacing and terrified by accusations that she talks to herself, completely losing her grip on baseline reality. Julian engineers this isolation meticulously. He contacts Elena's father, claiming he can no longer handle her psychiatric episodes. He actively asks her father to stay away, framing the request as a necessary measure to protect the older man's health. Sarah completes the perimeter. While Julian handles the family, Sarah manages the neighborhood. Acting as the deeply concerned best friend, she intercepts locals, explaining away Elena's absence from social events as the result of severe headaches and instability. Internal invalidation makes Elena doubt her own mind. External gatekeeping ensures no one else can verify her reality.
Woven together, these tactics build an invisible, inescapable psychological prison right in the middle of suburbia. Look closely at this printed email. It reads, "I am too frightened to leave the house today. The birds are watching me." The formatting matches Elena's personal account perfectly. Sarah and Julian forged this message, presenting it to Elena to establish a documented, undeniable history of severe paranoia. Julian executes physical sabotage as well. He secretly dissolves a white powder into Elena's bedside water carafe. This induces real physical and mental exhaustion, artificially creating the exact symptoms he reports to her family. This animated diagram maps out a digital network, where incoming data nodes, representing texts from Elena's family, are systematically blocked and deleted by a secondary interceptor node. Sarah executes this digital sabotage, secretly accessing Elena's phone to erase incoming messages before they ever reach the central target. By maintaining this digital blockade, Sarah ensures incoming reality checks are permanently severed. The blocked texts perfectly reinforce the forged outward emails, guaranteeing Elena never receives the replies that would expose the lie. Coordinated physical poisonings and digital forgeries achieve a distinct operational goal. They transform a normal domestic environment into a meticulously prepped crime scene, perfectly designed to frame a future murder as an inevitable, tragic suicide. From down the street, Mrs. Gable watches. Her habit of tracking local hawks with high-powered binoculars gives her a clear, objective view of the driveway, completely bypassing the psychological fog inside the house. Through those lenses, she spots two critical anomalies. First, she catches Julian and Sarah kissing. Second, she observes Julian mechanically tampering with the brakes on the family SUV. Mrs. Gable acts on this intelligence immediately. She corners Elena's brother Marcus in the aisles of a local hardware store. She tells him everything she saw, instantly shattering Sarah's lie that Elena is safely recovering in a psychiatric ward. While the neighborhood gossip mobilizes, law enforcement is already moving in. Detective Elias Thorne has been running a parallel forensic investigation, watching the perpetrators from an entirely different angle. This chart maps an escalating stream of transfers from a central domestic account to offshore dummy corporations, revealing the cold monetary motive. But financial tracking is legally insufficient for a murder conviction. He needs a physical attempt on Elena's life to close the net. The trap is now set. Analog eyewitness observation from a neighbor and digital forensic accounting from a detective converge. Together, they build an inescapable legal snare around Julian and Sarah, who have no idea they are being watched. The atmosphere inside the house shifts drastically on a slick, rainy night. The slow psychological warfare abruptly turns into an active physical hunt as Julian loudly pursues Elena through the hardwood halls, demanding she sign the power of attorney. Elena backs against the kitchen island, clutching a heavy iron skillet. She leverages her own hidden observation against him, screaming that she saw him tampering with the brakes from the upstairs window and refusing to get in the car. Sarah appears in the doorway to escalate the threat, abandoning the compromised vehicle plan. She grips a syringe to stage a fatal accidental overdose. Julian lunges. He grabs Elena by the throat, slamming her head against the marble counter. He issues his final threat. Sign the papers or he will ensure the kids find her in the garage with the engine running. The perimeter of control shatters. Marcus, the family, and Detective Thorne explode through the back of the house, violently tackling Julian off Elena. Confronted with overwhelming external evidence, the neighbor's footage, the deleted texts, and the offshore bank transfers, the perpetrators instantly collapse. The calculating masterminds are reduced to sobbing cowards as officers haul them out into the rain. The sudden, violent intrusion of objective truth and community support dismantles the illusion entirely. It proves to be the only force capable of completely shattering a systemic gaslighting cage. 1 year later, the legal system dismantles the conspiracy. Julian and Sarah face life sentences. They are convicted of conspiracy, attempted murder, and 2 decades of domestic torture. The oppressive architecture of the glass cage is sold and gone. Elena now lives in a small, sun-drenched cottage. Every piece of furniture and every thought inside it belongs entirely to her. Elias arrives at her door holding a bouquet of wildflowers and a box of Thai takeout. He remembered that Julian hated the smell of spicy food. Bringing it back represents the return of the personal preferences Julian had systematically erased. Elena's psychological landscape is completely clear. The crushing sensation of the walls closing in has given way to the perception of an ever-expanding horizon. True recovery from isolation is found in actively driving your own life, surrounded by people who offer a hand to help you stand, validating your reality instead of